Do you think Royal Caribbean will request 5 to 11-year-olds kids to be vaccinated? I have no idea. I don't think anyone really knows, Rosalind. There's two schools of thought. One is, up until now, Royal Caribbean has been requiring anybody who's eligible for the vaccine, 12 and above, get vaccinated. Thus, why wouldn't they do the same for 5 to 11? But Royal Caribbean has said routinely, repeatedly, they are dedicated to families, Rosalind. And that's why they didn't do the 95% mandatory vaccinated on board. They wanted families which had unvaccinated kids to get on board. So logically, you would think that would continue, right? No one really knows the answer to your question, Rosalind. And I certainly don't. I can see it, like I gave you literally both sides of the fence and on my thoughts about it. So we'll have to wait and see. If I get an onboard credit due to a price drop and then the price goes even lower, can I get an additional credit selling in 7 days? You can. Yes, you can get up to, you can reprice your cruise under the best price guarantee program up to 48 hours before your cruise still get an onboard credit. Keeping in mind, slow runner, that the currently the best price guarantee, the expanded best price guarantee, only runs through mid-December, December 17th. So if that were to expire, which I think it will after December 17th, then the best price guarantee goes back to being the old way, which is you can only get a price adjustment up until your final payment date. So keep that in mind. Any chance cruise ship will come back to New Orleans? Eventually, yes. But New Orleans is not a major destination port for Royal Caribbean. It's a secondary or even a tertiary departure port for the cruise line. Basically, the reason why there aren't more cruises going to New Orleans, Chris, is that Royal Caribbean can make more money with their ships sailing from other places. That's the short of it. So Royal Caribbean basically uses New Orleans when they need to they have a ship without a home situation. Why can't we get information on Air to Sea online? We're selling at a Ravina on Brilliance May 22. It's been really strange, Marion. Air to Sea is Royal Caribbean's air flight booking program where you can book your airfare through Royal Caribbean. And their website was working for a while, but for the last couple of weeks, if not months, it has been down. It is not you, Marion. The good news is you can call Air to Sea and they'll be able to handle it. Their website before, Marion, was just like, it looked like it was out of 2005. It was an ancient looking website. I suspect the hamsters that powered that website and the little hamster wheels in the back in Miami finally gave up and died, and they haven't been able to find anything else to power it. The website just, I don't know. Anyway, the point is that you can still call them, and that's what I would recommend. I would not wait because it's been down for a while. This has been like a day or two or a week or two. This has been down for a long time. So I would say if you want to book airfare, call Air to Sea and book it there. That's definitely the way to go. What is the plan for Wonder of the Seas now that she is in Marseille? Great question, Aaron. So if you guys didn't know about it, Wonder of the Seas was delivered to Royal Caribbean late last week, over the weekend, actually. She is out of the shipyard and she's on her way to Marseille. Basically, Aaron, for an indeterminate amount of time, Royal Caribbean is going to now basically put the finishing touches on Wonder of the Seas. Wonder of the Seas is the new Oasis class ship. She is now, or will become, depending on your definition, the largest cruise ship in the world. I'm not sure if you consider, she hasn't started cruises yet. Does that count? I don't know. But anyway, she's the largest cruise ship in the world. And for a little while, Aaron, they are going to basically do finishing touches. So kind of like when you buy a house, it's not furnished. There's not furnished. You got to put your own stuff in there. Same basic idea. The ship is complete construction-wise, but Royal Caribbean now is going to be adding different accoutrements and decorations and artwork and all the other stuff inside the ship that they need that's not part of the build order, stuff that Royal Caribbean decides to put on there. So she'll be doing that for a while, and then honestly, Aaron, I think she'll just be doing her own thing out of service until her cruises begin in March. Booked to Oasis 22. What was improved added during the amplification? A lot. They added a karaoke bar on the Royal Promenade. They added portside barbecue, a couple other specialty restaurants as well. They added water slides on board. There's a couple of changes. They redid the Sabor has been replaced by Playmakers. They've done a number of changes on board, Brendan. More details at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. We're selling a Symphony of the Seas during the Super Bowl. Have you ever been on a Royal Caribbean cruise on a Super Bowl Sunday? Yeah, it's actually basically on board the ship. You're going to have every bar and venue showing the Super Bowl game. So a lot of people want to go to certain places. You're on Symphony, Playmakers is going to be the place to go, but not to worry because there's going to be the game shown everywhere, by the pool and the Royal Theater. They've got food all over the ship, special events they'll do Super Bowl trivia. You're going to have lots of decorations. It's going to be, you'll have a great time on board. No question about it. Hey, Matt, I'm already vaccinated. If I get a booster less than 14 days before boarding, am I still okay to board? Yeah. As of right now, and this could change, Eddie, as of right now, Royal Caribbean, I don't say they don't care, but boosters don't factor into their definition of fully vaccinated. So it would be irrelevant, Eddie. It would not matter at all. you're good. Not to worry one bit about that. Concerned about COVID testing 2 days prior to my cruise in January on Oasis. What happens if it were tested 2 days prior as required and the results are not available at boarding? What happens? You won't be able to go on the cruise. But here's what I'm going to tell you, Joe. Get the rapid antigen test. The antigen test, you have the choice of an antigen or a PCR. The antigen test is acceptable for vaccinated or unvaccinated folks. The results come back in about an hour. Get the antigen test. You'll have no problems. And on top of that, make sure you get your test done on the first available day you can. You have obviously 2 days ahead of time. It's so if your cruise leaves on Sunday, instead of you have the choice of getting your test on Friday or Saturday, get your test done on Friday. So that way you have extra padding. But yeah, if you do the antigen test, Joe, you'll have no problems at all because that test comes back in about an hour. So which one I like better, Mariner or Navigator? They're very close. I like Navigator a smidge more. I like their water slides better, and a couple other features. But Mariner has Izumi Hibachi, which Navigator does not. Navigator does have Izumi, but it's not the teppanyaki. But I like, the playmakers and the bamboo room are a little bit larger on Navigator. It's like a Mariner plus a little bit. So I like Navigator just by an inch, a little bit more. Hypothetically, if you could no longer cruise with a roller coaster, which cruise line would I choose? I mean, you could go with Celebrity. I'm not sure. I don't have any lines that I necessarily like, quote unquote, hate. I can't afford. I don't think anybody can afford Disney Cruise Line. Those prices are just ridiculous. So I'd probably like, and honestly, Disney's fleet is too small and they go to far too few itineraries, but I would spray one of the other mainstream lines or probably, there's pros and cons to every cruise line out there. You guys know I'm a big Royal Caribbean fan, but I'd be the first to admit there's some things that Royal Caribbean does not do as well as some other lines that are out there. I don't know that I have one in particular I would pick. I think you got to find what really jives with you. When I first started cruising the Royal Caribbean, I didn't be like, well, I'm only cruising with Royal and that's it. I've cruised with other lines before, but I found Royal, I liked Royal, and I haven't looked back. And so that's okay for where I'm coming from. But yeah, it's a good question. I've never gotten that question before. Should I choose Oasis class or Quantum class? There's advantages to both. The obvious answer is, well, you should book both, actually. Do a cruise on one, cruise on the other. There's advantages to both. I would say if you have teenagers, you might want to lean towards the Quantum class a little bit, but with the amplifications and ships like Odyssey of the Seas now, it's more of a toss-up. They're both excellent choices for families. They have the latest and greatest that Royal Caribbean is known for. So I wouldn't really look at it that way. You're basically asking me, Matt, should I get the New York strip steak or the ribeye steak? At the end of the day, you're still talking about really good steak. And at the end of the day here, we're talking about really good cruise ships. There's not that much of even though there are differences, don't get me wrong. The differences are like so minute or so insignificant because you're still talking about big ships with the latest that Royal Caribbean has to offer that you're not compromising really in any way, unless there is like a specific feature that is super important to you. As an example, if you absolutely need water slides, like that is a game-breaking issue, then you need to go with the Oasis class because there are no water slides on Quantum class ships. If you wanted to see a particular Broadway show, obviously that'll limit what you're doing there. So, can I travel without insurance and fully vaccinated? Yes. I would say this, and it's a good question. So I'm not passing judgment. Here's what I would tell you. Travel insurance is more than just COVID. In fact, I would argue that more than likely you would need travel insurance for something other than COVID. And the reason I say that is because travel insurance traditionally is really helpful for scenarios that you may not think about, but may happen to you. Slip and falls, breaking something, getting sick in another country. Not COVID, but I don't know how old you are, but if you have a heart attack, if you had a stroke, if you were on a shore excursion and got injured, right? Something where you're stuck in another country, travel insurance can cover those scenarios, whereas your major medical will not. You're out of network. So in a lot of cases, it's like, good luck with that one. Never mind the costs, like ancillary costs, like missing out on work and how do you get from that home country back to your home country and medevac insurance, right? If they have to take you on a helicopter. Those are all things that, travel insurance can cover and why it's more important than just COVID. And I'll be saying for many years, I didn't have travel insurance. I was younger and I said to myself, I don't need this stuff. My risks are very low and I didn't have it. And then one day we were on a cruise ship. My wife was not feeling well and we were literally sitting in the cruise ship. It was like midnight. She was feeling terrible. And I was thinking to myself, do I want to take her down to the medical center and get her the attention she needs? Or should I see if she can go without it and then not, but save money, You know what I mean? Because I was worried about the cost. And I decided I never want to have that conundrum again. So I started getting travel insurance. Guys, as always, thank you for joining us here each and every Monday. We're live. We will not only be live next Monday here on YouTube, but we'll be at Perfect Day at Cocoa Key on Sunday from Odyssey of the Sea. So expect a lot of live coverage from onboard Odyssey of the Seas, and I'll be trying to bring you as much as I possibly can. So keep an eye out for that. If you have more questions between now and then, feel free to post your questions over on our message boards at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. So that way you can go post your questions there. And we'll talk again, of course, next week right here on YouTube. Until then, have a great rest of your week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun. That's important as well. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Good night, everybody.